Hello.
What's up, podcast family? It's the Monk. It's the host of Seeking Knowledge podcast. And on season 12, episode 23, I got this young lady. She's gifted. She's talented. Man, like she's amazing. And I met her on social media. I met her on Facebook, but I know her as Lioness. So man, look, she's amazing. So he decided to come down with your boy. Holla at your boy. The Marcus. I'm just gonna shut up and just let her, introduce herself. How you? First of all, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. My name is Felicia Carey Carter on Facebook, but I am known as Lioness, Felicia Carter, or Lioness Creation Designs on my social medias.
I like that. I like this. So we spoke. We spoke. I want you to just share your story on how you became Linus. Like,
Okay. So I became Lioness. I was actually trying to think of names for my business. So I guess I'll just start there with letting you guys know how I started my business and stuff. Everybody pretty much took a really hard hit. I feel like during COVID. COVID was really hard on me. At the time, I was working and out out of the house, and so we were told that we had to work from home. So at first, I was like, "Yeah, this is gonna be awesome! I get to work from home now, finally." And then at the time, the kids also um, had to be homeschooled. And at the time, it was my oldest son and my two youngest kids. So all three of them were trying to do homeschool, and I was trying to work at the same time they was in school. I kind of went into a bit of a depression, um, and I just kind of was feeling like, like I wasn't doing a good job as being a mother and a wife at the time. I just felt really overwhelmed, trying to work, trying to help them with school. And so I was like, well, there has to be something that can help me kind of get myself out of what I'm feeling because I was getting angry a lot. I was crying all the time. Um, and I didn't really like who I was becoming. So when I went to Google University, I kind of put in there
shout
ways
out to the
to
universe.
right. I went and I looked up like what are some natural ways that you can get out of depression. And I saw chakra crystals, and of course I was like, well, I wonder what that is. So I went to Amazon because that's like the number one place to be. So I went to Amazon. I ordered a bracelet or two, and when I got the bracelet, I knew nothing about chakra healing. I knew nothing about crystals like that. I always loved, um, at the time when I was younger, I used to call them rocks. I used to love them. I didn't know why.
This-
So, huh?
I still call them rocks and stones, and hey,
Right. Right.
it's
So exactly, it's a big difference. And I didn't know, so when I got my bracelets, I actually put them on like right away because like with me, anytime I get something, I want to open it up right away and just, like see what it's all about. So I went ahead, I put the bracelets on my wrist, and the minute I did that, I started feeling a tingling sensation like up and down my wrist and my hand, my arm. And I was like, is this supposed to feel like this? I was like, it felt weird, but I didn't want to take it off at the same time. So I was like, all of a sudden, it kind of felt like my arm got heavy. And I was like, I don't know if that's natural. I don't know what that is. So I put in Google.
hello. How be doing? It's the host of Seeking Podcast, and
Huh?
shout out to shout out to my sponsor of Seeking Out Podcast. We had a little technical different problem. She back.
Oh, sorry. I think it was my screen. My screen went blank. Okay.
This,
Okay, so like when I looked on Google and I saw that I put in why is my chakra bracelet making my arm feel weird? Like, because I didn't know what to call it. And that's when I first started seeing that chakra actually had energy. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. And I was like, well, like, what does the energy do? So that's kind of how I went down a rabbit hole of chakra healing. And I started learning the different names of each chakra and the different colors and how you can balance them. And I was so into it. And then I said, well, everybody should start feeling like this because it was saying how it could change your mental health. It could help with your emotions and like balance your body and stuff. And I was like, that's amazing. So I was like, I think I could make a bracelet. And I went to YouTube University. I have lots of universities, but I went to YouTube and I was like, I'm gonna make me a bracelet. And I kind of went from there. I started making bracelets and I started loving it. And I started asking my kids, I said, do y'all want me to make y'all a bracelet? And they were like, yeah, that looks cool. So I made them bracelets. Then I asked my mom and my sisters, I was like, y'all want a bracelet? And they was like, yeah. So I gave them bracelets, and then I had a best friend at the time. I made her girlfriend a bracelet. I was just handing out bracelets. Like, y'all gotta feel like this energy.
that's good because I just want to share this because that's good. That's good business. Like, and I'm just gonna leave this question, but that's good business because when I first published my book From the Hood to the Church in 2019, even though I made some more money through Cash App, but it felt good because I gave more books away than I sold. Because sometimes
Hmm.
it's out there, you gotta promote yourself.
Exactly. Yeah, because nobody knows that you out there yet until like that you actually get somebody who could like give you that review that you need or that picture. Just anybody seeing them with it. And that's how I kind of like got started. So
That's good. So that you already answered my question. So because I was gonna ask you like who inspired you, but as you sharing your story, it was like when you put that bracelet on, was this like a transformation moment? Because it's like did something hit you like this your third eye open, which is the eye of knowledge. It hit you like because you started like a whole business based on your spiritual awakening. That's beautiful. Not
yeah,
just
and at the time I didn't even know that I was having a spiritual awakening. you know, I just was like, I like how this bracelet feels. I like what it's doing. Because after I bought the bracelet, I went ahead and bought a necklace too. Like,
it was
yeah,
on from there.
yeah. And until I actually had my own stuff, like I was wearing the bracelets that I made, like in my live videos and stuff on Facebook and stuff like that. But until I had like my own stuff, I was wearing the stuff that I got from Amazon all the time. Like you wouldn't catch me without a necklace on or a bracelet on. And like to this day I'm still like that. And even though I will say that I've learned over time that it's not about the chakra healing jewelry and tools and stuff like that, I still feel like it's become a big part of my journey. So I do wear it a lot. I do promote the chakra healing tools and jewelry and stuff. Like I know it's not a big part of spirituality, like as far as something that you have to have, but I will say that it has helped me um, like on my journey, and like you will not catch me without it.
Now look, see, and we spoke on this. You found yourself, but like I said, concerning, I'm gonna say use me as an example concerning the Ak and the I her rule and the I Ra on my neck.
Right.
See, I got it 'cause I follow that shit. It's
Yeah.
like it's a part of you were the crystals and you were the crystals because it's a part of you. And like that's how you healed. You feel like you didn't know what you was going through, but that's what you was going through, a spiritual awakening. Like, and that'd be the good moment when you find yourself. So
Mhm.
hold on, shout out to the sponsor of this podcast, by the way, which is me, the host of Seeking Out Podcast, the Marcus Brewster. Check out my book From the Hood to the Church. If you want to get inspired, you want to laugh and cry at the same time and overcome and feel like you overcame the world, check out my book on Amazon, From the Hood to the Church. But back to this message. Now this leads me to the next question, because you said with the chakra, you felt like it healed you. So like I like how you think. It's spiritual business, baby. I like how you think. Man, that's your whole name, Lioness. So
Oh
you
yeah.
started, go ahead.
I didn't answer that question, right? I didn't answer that yet. Like how I became Lioness. Like
Now,
so
I like cats, and we spoke on this.
right. So during the time that I was like I guess going through my spiritual awakening, um I was like what represented me in a way that I felt like I could present to everyone else. Um, and I love cats. I love lions. I love tigers, cheetahs, like all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I always have and lioness. I felt like for me was a symbol of strength, of overcoming a lot of things that I went through. But also, when I started my lock journey,
Oh,
I
come on.
was looking into Rastafarian lifestyle. Um, and I wanted to change my name.
See,
But
no, you're a real guy? Real guy?
yeah, but I when I discovered the Rastafarian lifestyle and stuff, I just kind of felt like it wasn't for me. But the name for me, for some reason, I gravitated towards it and I didn't want to let it go. So I became Lioness on Facebook, on Instagram, like everywhere I was Lioness. And um and that's kind of just how I became Lioness. I felt like it showed my strength. I've been through a lot of stuff, and I was like, I have overcome a lot of it, you
I
know.
want to go ahead. You done?
Yeah.
I want you to touch on this because you said when you got the name Linus, it's like it was like oh you overcome, like you overcome some strength. I want to say this to everybody that's listening to this, like because I know everybody get a bad rep on black cats, different color cats.
Oh, yeah.
A black cat do not symbolize bad luck. If you really look it up, if you want to, because it's spiritual business, it's a spiritual thing on this message. You look it up.
Right.
A black
Yes.
cat symbolize
Let me say, it's going the same direction that you're going with the black cats, right? So just recently, at my job, I was seeing black cats walking
come
past
on.
me, um, walking past my office, and I was talking to one of my friends, and she was like, "Do you think it could be like a spirit in that cat, like that's trying to protect you and stuff, right?" And I was like, "I don't know," because I had put the question on Facebook, and so she was like, "Well, look it up and like see." And I was like, "Let me look up the meaning of a black cat, right?"
Come
And
on
I
now.
had never done it before. Like all the times that people be like, "Oh, black cats walking past you is bad luck," and stuff or whatever, and that's what was believed. But when I looked
Right.
it up, it said that black cats were very protective. It said that that they're actually not bad luck. And I was like, this is so crazy that they have this terrible rep. They actually like are very protective of their masters, and a lot of them might have certain spirits. They actually became I forget what the word is, but more like a pet, a protective pet towards what they call witches, which a witch is not even what people make that, because witches have a bad rep as well. Um, Witches are not even what people make it to be. It's just people who, have a certain spirit about them. They're able to, what they say, cast spells because they are manifesting things into their life. So
I know,
witches are not even, huh?
I know a few Brujas, like for real, like, and back to the Brujas, warlocks, like it's like I said, it's a spiritual thing. We talking about our spiritual shit on here, like back to like the cats, like I follow Kemet, and then back in the Egyptian time, which is the original Egyptians was melanated people. So please, Hollywood, put it in there like that. But back to this message. Cats or like white thing Egyptians had them around the grave because a cat when they like rub against you and when it's taking some off you, it's putting some on you. That's why cats are protective because they see spirit. They are spiritual animals. Like, and that's amazing. So, man, we done touched on so much. Like, so how long you been? How long you had your business? Like, how long you been doing this, doing your thing with the
Oh,
crystals and
yeah. I've been in business since 2021. I started making the jewelry at the end of 2022 though, like around October, November. And then I started making the jewelry and putting it on Facebook around January of 2021. But I didn't officially get my LLC for my business until March of 2021. So, yeah.
that's good though, because you decide to go right while everybody else is going left. And this leads me into my question because I know you about healing the chakra. Once you put the little chakra on, you like, oh shit, I feel the powers, I feel the flying shit. So this leads me to the question because you amazing. Like you like I consider you like you my sister, like, and how we connected, like the universe is amazing. Then we connect, we talk about so much spiritual shit, like far as how I did the meditation and seeing the cheetah cat, the cat I'm following her like with my galactic ancestors, like it's just so much to talk about. But I listened to your whole podcast, like Chakra and Love Healing the podcast. Like when I listened to your podcast, it was like it kind of reminded me of me because my season one of Psychoanalysis was basically like my spiritual journey. I don't know y'all know what the journey I'm on now, but the name, like that's why I say y'all, it's spiritual business, it's a spiritual thing on this, like, cause y'all heard I say all the time, y'all heard I say this on my podcast all the time, put the spiritual things first, because it'll tell you how to balance everything out. So Lioness know how to mix the spiritual thing with the business things because she got a whole spiritual business. I say it's a spiritual thing, so but with the podcast, Chakra and Love Healing the podcast, like I just want to know, and the name is amazing, like everything
So,
business.
I have a story for that too.
Come on, man.
Okay, so after I started my business, and I had been online for a little while, going live and stuff like that, I was still learning about chakra, and I pretty much did live videos on my Facebook page while I was learning chakra. Actually, I have the book, right? That hold on, what is it called?
So,
Hold on. Because one of my very first books that I started reading after I started learning about chakra Oh, that's right here. I know I saw it.
Come on
Sorry.
now. That's I tell people,
Oh,
apply
here you
knowledge.
go. Yeah. So I had ordered this book off Amazon, of course. It's called Chakra Healing, and it's by Margarita Alcantara. I probably said it wrong, but I found that book, right, and I started looking through it, and I was like, oh, this is a good book. Like this really, it tells you like yoga poses, crystals to use, essential oils. Like it tell you like all types of stuff, right? And I was like, okay, like this is a good book. So I was like, still wanting to share everything with everybody that I was learning about chakra. And so I started this series, this live series on my page. And we was talking about chakras. We was going through the book. We was talking about the different chakras, and I was basically like reading some pages from out the book during the live. And it was helping me so much because I was like, you can heal your chakras by doing this. You could, if it's open, closed, balanced, all that stuff. And then I was like, when I decided to do my podcast, I was like, what am I name it? But I had a Facebook group on Facebook, Chakra and Love Healing. And I was like, the reason I named it that was because I was like, like when you go through balancing your chakras, the main thing that I kept seeing over and over was that your heart chakra needs to be open. You need to find compassion, love, and stuff. And I was like, so it all go together, you know. And so when I started my podcast, I was like, I'm gonna just call it Chakra and Love Healing the podcast because what was gonna be in my podcast, I was gonna be talking about my life. I was gonna be talking about spirituality. I was gonna be talking about chakra. I was gonna be giving you the real deal of what it's like going through my spiritual journey, the ups and the downs, because I'm not perfect, like just because I started this spiritual journey, it hasn't been easy, So I was like, I'm just gonna call it chakra and love healing because I'm healing myself and learning to love myself really all over again, like because I know at one point I loved myself completely unconditionally with no limits, but somewhere down the line things, took a bumpy road. So I was like, chakra and love healing.
It's beautiful though, because the title of this is it's spiritual business. It's a spiritual thing, how you want to say it, because like you basically we have so even though we just connected, we have so much in common because you basically woke up transformation. You started a whole business behind it, got an LLC, and that's like my story, similar to me with the Seek Knowledge podcast. Like it's a business now. I just got to get the LLC. Like
Mm-hmm.
seeking, it just started as like just me some wanted to do. Like, oh, I'm gonna just share my story. I'm gonna let the world know I'm venting. Basically, what I'm doing, I'm venting to the world. It's not just what I'm going through, but I'm inspiring you at the same time. But then as I got the as the season got to going on, and as I got to like cracking the podcast business, it's the spiritual thing because I start tapping into my spiritual self. Because that's me being a Palladian star seed, I start getting downloads because I don't script nothing. So I
Yeah.
put together me downloads. I just ain't got my LLC. So I was like, I'm gonna turn this to a whole fucking movement. I gotta get the Seeking Knowledge Worldwide LLC. I already got the Seeking Knowledge where line I already worked on. So I was like, I'm gonna use my life. I'm gonna show my journey through my gifts. That's why I say you can use the spiritual things, your spiritual journey, and bring it into your business. That's why I say it's spiritual business on her. But that's amazing. That's it's
Mm-hmm.
so amazing. So I'm not gonna take up much of your time. Thank you for coming on, hanging out with
No
Miss Me.
problem. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. But, yeah, I want to share this because a lot of people are amazing about this. You ain't got to get into details. Just y'all, Lioness, she's not just a podcaster. She's not just a chakra healer. She's also good with graphics. That's who created my cover photo. Fuck it,
I did not think you was gonna say
I'm telling you, she did it.
that. First of all, so that's funny because like so a part of my business that I didn't think was because I do have business like things on my website. Like I have what is it, like business labels. I just threw it in there because I had started making my own business cards and stuff, and I was gonna open up the business cards, but my printer started acting crazy, so I never put them out there. But I feel like that part of my business is getting seen more now and that more and more now, and it was crazy because it's not something that I was expecting to come from my business, but it is something that people like and they love. So I don't know. Sometimes you just don't know what's gonna actually get noticed. So that was definitely not something that I was expecting either, like my images and stuff, because it's something that I do for myself. Like it wasn't anything that I was expecting to do for other people.
That's why I'm telling y'all, it's a spiritual business, spiritual thing. Like once you fuck with the universe, man, whatever guy, once you tap into your ancestors, however, whatever spiritual journey you're on, doors will open. Doors will open.
Look, I manifested my house too,
So
but that was before I knew I was manifesting it.
yeah, that's another thing. Manifesting is real. Like you can
Yes.
really create reality with your thoughts. Like you can really lay down and astral project and leave your body. Like all this shit is real, y'all. It's not nothing to be scared of. It's spiritual business.
Definitely.
To tie it in with your business, maybe you can walk through some doors. But how can the people reach you? Like if they want to contact you, if they want to get to
Yes.
fire cover photo, they want to hear your podcast, one of your jewelry. Oh, by the way, look, I got my crystal lock jewelry coming in. So how can they reach out to you if they want to try some of your shit?
Okay,
Hear
so you can reach me on Facebook as Felicia Carey Carter and Lioness Creation Designs or Chakra and Love Healing the podcast. I have 3 pages. On IG, I am Lioness Creation Designs, TikTok Lioness Creation Designs, YouTube Lioness Creation Designs. I also have an email, felicia.carter@lionesscreationdesigns.com. You can reach me on the OWL app. That's OWWLL app. I'm on there. You can talk to me on there if you have questions, or you can email me questions. I only accept direct messages on any of my platforms. Excuse me. If it's about business. If it's not about business, I do not respond to them really. So I do take my direct messages very serious, and I am like the police when it comes to my messages. So um, and I also do make custom jewelry as well. So yes.
Y'all heard it from the Lioness, Felicia Carter. The herself. But thank you so much. Y'all know how to reach me. Speaking Knowledge Podcast. I'm all on Facebook, Instagram. You know, I got LinkedIn and all that, but I'm more active on Instagram, Facebook. You know, man. Thank y'all for always listening in. Thank you so much once again for taking time out your busy schedule, because I know you're a busy person and you came and chopped it up with. Man, it's much appreciated. But
Thank you for having me.
before we get up out of here, is there anything you have to share?
Um, no, I don't think so. I think that's about it. I mean, because if I keep talking about spiritual stuff, I'm just be talking too much. So
Yeah, that's all good. And we're ending it up, so we'll chop it up. Thank y'all. I know y'all gonna be inspired by this. It's probably gonna wake y'all up. Until next time, peace.